J.C. Jackson. And Ball Hawk doesn't even cover his game last week, where he had 4 picks. It's the Desperados and the Titans, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tennessee Titans and our home team. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they enter play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing to start the drive. Johnson can't get away, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Powers through it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's the kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
In trouble, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Johnson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Johnson. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. On 2nd down, here's Henry. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On now is the Titans punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Dancing to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Titan football.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Johnson now on 3rd down.
That's complete to Traylon Burks.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. They'll set up a throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Johnson.
Open man downfield is Woods.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A first down carry for Henry. And some space here.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Draw play. This is Henry. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Johnson to throw on 3rd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal.
This from 32 yards away.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. On to the second quarter, Mexico City in possession.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And on now is the punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Johnson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. And down by a field goal, they'll take over with excellent field position following the interception.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10 once again from the 28. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. Call it a gain of a yard. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will tie us at 3-3.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Inside handoff, Henry.
Finding space at the 40.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here's Johnson throwing on first down. And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Here's a 2nd and 7. Flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They'll drop to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be brought down just shy of 40.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Holding offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. They'll set up to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body.
And the Titans are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Parker, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Tennessee offense set to go again. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Off the bootleg. Johnson out to his left. Gets it to Meredith, complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Johnson. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Johnson steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll roll him out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The kick by Bass is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. They bring their punter out there now. He's been terrific so far. So possession goes over here on the punt. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. They were 3-point winners a week ago. They lead by 3 here as well as they start 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Johnson caught right side. Davis. And he got blown up on that play. Back.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes they think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Now Johnson to throw on 2nd down. And this is going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Johnson. And that is caught. It's Davis. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
Back to throw again. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. It's going the other way. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
It really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime you didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run this one in. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They'll try to run this one in. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Titans defense will celebrate the goal line stand. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Johnson now on 1st and 10. Steps away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at NRG Stadium. Denver on the road to take on Houston. And it's the Broncos who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Kyler Murray throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. In that game, all tied with the visiting Patriots. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Titans. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, on the other side, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. Johnson throwing to start the drive. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Johnson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown. And this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throwing out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Here's Johnson looking to throw on second down. So the completion good for 6 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Take it at the 37. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Back to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. So they bring out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Down to about the 45. Second and 6. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he
just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Titans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you to come in like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
They begin with Henry.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Now Johnson to throw on 2nd down. Completes this one to Meredith. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Johnson. This is caught. It's Woods.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive. And they're off to a fast start here.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Henry up the middle, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll run it again with Henry. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Johnson now on 3rd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker, making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
On now is is the Titans punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And they'll send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense set to go again. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Now a handoff to Henry. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On now is the Titans punter as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And on now is the punter as he's on to kick it away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
2nd down and 7.
Looking to throw. Johnson. And he'll just get rid of it. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Johnson. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll look to throw again. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Back to throw again. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Johnson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. And they enjoy this 4th quarter lead, starting out 1st and 10 now following the missed field goal.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's, CD, an important one. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out come the Titans now. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Johnson throwing to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Johnson caught by Woods. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down in the backfield. The fullback dive held up short. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And now the first throw for the backup cornerback. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, a 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. Caught right side. Davis. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Johnson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off play action. Johnson. They will find Davis. That's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations